Dear friends, English literature, Elizabethan and Jacobean drama, Macbeth by William Shakespeare. Brief questions with answers. Brief questions 1 to 54. Question 1. Who is Macbeth? Answer. He is the evil king of Scotland. Being inspired by the witches and his wife, he snatches away the throne from Duncan by murdering him and sinks into a state of chaos because of his greed and guilt. His evil acts lead to his ruin, and rebel forces lead an attack against him, and Macduff, in a personal battle, beheads him. Question 2. Who is Lady Macbeth? Answer. Lady Macbeth is the wife of Macbeth. She is a deeply ambitious woman who lusts for power and position. Question 3. What is Lady Macbeth's name? Answer. It is not mentioned in the play, but historical sources tell us that her name was Grook, and that she had a son only by previous marriage named Lulak. Question 4. Who are the three witches? Answer. They are the three black and midnight hags who plot mischief against Macbeth using charms, spells, and prophecies. Question 5. Who is Banquo? Answer. Banquo is a general in Duncan's army and a close friend of Macbeth prior to Macbeth seizing the throne. Banquo is the brave, noble general who was brutally killed by the murderers hired by Macbeth. The witches prophesied that his children will inherit the Scottish throne. Question 6. Who is Macduff? Answer. Macduff is a general in Duncan's army who becomes suspicious of Macbeth's part in the king's murder. His son and wife were killed by Macbeth's men, and eventually he became able to slay Macbeth. Question 7. Who is Lady Macduff? Answer. Lady Macduff is Macduff's wife who was murdered by the ruffians sent by Macbeth. Question 8. Who is Hecate? Answer. Hecate is the goddess of witchcraft. She helps the three witches work their mischief on Macbeth. Question 9. Who is Fleancy? Answer. Fleancy is Banquo's son, who survives Macbeth's attempt to murder him. At the end of the play, Fleancy's whereabouts are unknown. Question 10. Who is Lennox? Answer. Lennox is one of Duncan's novels. He accompanies Macbeth to Duncan's chamber after his murder. Lennox is suspicious of Macbeth and fearful for Scotland. Question 11. Who is Ross? Answer. Ross is a Scottish noble and cousin to Macduff. He brings the good news of Macbeth's military victory and the bad news about Macduff's murdered family. Question 12. Who are the murderers in Macbeth? Answer. The murderers are a group of ruffians conscripted by Macbeth to murder Banquo, Fleancy, but they failed to kill Fleancy, and Macduff's wife and children. Question 13. Who is the porter? Answer. The porter is the drunken doorman of Macbeth's castle. Question 14. Who is Siward? Answer. Siward is the Earl of Northumberland and veteran military officer. He becomes an ally of Malcolm and Macduff and leads the first attack against Macbeth's forces. Question 15. Who was young Siward? Answer. He was the son of Siward. He follows his father to fight against Macbeth in Scotland, but is killed in battle. Question 16. Who is Seton? Answer. Seton is the only remaining officer in Macbeth's army that remains loyal to him. Question 17. When was Macbeth written? Answer. Macbeth was written in about 1606. Question 18. What is the effect of the irony in Macbeth? Answer. The irony in Macbeth creates a vague fear of hidden forces operating on minds of unconscious of their influence. Question 19. Do the witches make Macbeth murder Duncan? Answer. No, the witches do not make Macbeth murder Duncan. Question 20. Are the witches just the symbols of Macbeth's own evil desires? Answer: witches are not just the symbols of Macbeth's own evil desires. Question 21. Can we see Macbeth as a half-hatred, cowardly criminal and Lady Macbeth as a whole-hearted fiend? Answer: no, they are not much more than that. No, they are much more than that. Question 22. What is Macbeth's tragic flaw? Answer: Macbeth's tragic flaw was ambition. Question 23. Is Lady Macbeth responsible for Macbeth's crimes? Answer: Lady Macbeth is responsible for Macbeth's murdering Duncan, but plans the murder of Banquo without her knowledge. But he plans the murder of Banquo without her knowledge. Question 24. Why did Lady Macbeth go mad? Answer: Lady Macbeth went mad because before the murder of Duncan, she hardly imagines the act, or at most imagines its outward show, and because she does not foresee those inward consequences which reveal themselves immediately in her husband. Question 25. What kind of man is Banquo? Answer: Banquo is a good man. Question 26. Is Potter in the play for comic relief? Answer: not really. His speeches are more grotesque than humorous. Question 27. Did Lady Macbeth have any children? Answer: it is not mentioned whether Lady Macbeth had any children or not. Question 28. Is the ghost of Banquo a hallucination? Yes. But Shakespeare knew that most of his audience would think of it as a real ghost. Question 29. What is the setting of the play Macbeth? Answer: the setting of the play Macbeth is Ireland. Question 30. Why did the three witches meet the first time? Answer: the three witches met on lonely heath in the midst of thunder and lightning for the first time. Question 31. What is the point of the first scene literally? Answer: literally, the witches are deciding their time of meeting again. Question 32. What is the significance of the first scene of Macbeth? Answer: the first scene of Macbeth sets the mood for the entire play and introduces several major motives. Question 33. What are the major motives revealed in the first scene of Macbeth? Answer: the major motives revealed in the first scene of Macbeth, the supernatural influences in the play are the idea of fear being foul and the stormy fate of Scotland. Question 34. What do the witches plan at the beginning of the Act 1? Answer: at the beginning of the Act 1, the witches plan to meet Macbeth. Question 35. When do witches decide to meet? Answer: the witches decide to meet Macbeth at the close of the battle. Question 36. When the battle's lost and won? What is meant here? Answer: it means the kind of metaphysical pitch and toss which is about to be played with good and evil. Question 37. What does the word hurly-burly refer to? Answer: the word hurly-burly refers to the noise and din of fighting. Question 38. What is Graymalkin? Answer: Graymalkin means a colored cat. Question 39. What is Paddock? Answer: Paddock means a toad. Question 40. What is familiar of the first witch? Answer: Graymalkin is familiar of the first witch. Question 41. What is familiar of the second witch? Answer: a Paddock is familiar of the second witch. Question 42. What is familiar of the third witch? Answer: Happy is familiar of the third witch. Question 43. Who utters the statement "Fair is foul and foul is fair"? Answer: the witches utter the statement "Fair is foul and foul is fair." Question 44. Fair is foul and foul is fair. What is meant here? Answer: the line refers to the theme of Macbeth as the reversal of values. Question 45. Fair is foul and foul is fair. What does the line symbolize? The line symbolizes moral anarchy. Question 46. What figure of speech do you find in fair is foul and foul is fair? Answer: chiasmus. Question 47. Who was Duncan? Answer: Duncan was the good king of Scotland, whom Macbeth, in his ambition for the crown, murders. Duncan is the model of a virtuous, benevolent, and foresighted ruler. Question 48. How many sons did Duncan have? Answer: Duncan have 2 sons. Question 49. What are the sons of Duncan? Answer: Malcolm and Donalbain were the sons of Duncan. Question 50. Who was Malcolm? Answer: Malcolm was King Duncan's oldest son. He was the rightful heir to the throne of Scotland, but flees to England after his father's murder and later returns to lead a successful attack against Macbeth. Question 51. Who was Donalbain? Answer: Donalbain was Duncan's youngest son who flees to Ireland after his father's murder and does not return. Question 52. Who was Macdonald? Answer: Macdonald was a rebellious Thane defeated by Macbeth. Question 53. What does the captain report about the battle to Duncan? Answer: The captain refers to Duncan that Macbeth has fought bravely and has defeated the enemy. Question 54. What does Duncan call Macbeth when he hears Macbeth was defeated? Macdonald. Answer: Duncan calls Macbeth valiant cousin, worthy gentleman. Thank you friends for watching my video.